Hey guys, it's Anne. Welcome to my home worm farming channel. If you're new here, please know that this is a safe space. No questions are stupid. We all had to learn somewhere, and I hope this is one of the places you come to learn. Today we're going to be looking in on the red wigglers in the tower system, and I thought it would be cool to kind of see all the layers next to each other and see how they compare and contrast over time. Each one of these layers is a month apart from each other. Now we have the top layer here that is going to be harvested pretty soon. Then we have the feeding layer, which you can still see lots of food in. And then we have a bedding layer down here that has only had just cardboard that has been hand torn. Look at all these castings. And there's never been any people scraps down here. Just cardboard and some grit. And then if I grab over here, you can tell that the very bottom is still just bedding. But I thought it'd be interesting to see them all side by side here. So let's get to it and let's have a look at the very top tray, which is the pre-harvest tray that I have now started calling my chow layer, because before it is ready to be harvested, it wants to finish up everything in the bin. And sometimes things aren't as tasty. It's kind of like ketchup for worms. So what I've been doing lately is kind of turning everything around, looking to see where we are as far as the progress of these guys finishing up this layer. And if it doesn't look like it's ready, which we have been seeing a lot this winter, then I just go ahead and feed them some chow. Second layer down, now this is the feeding tray where all of the most recent food has been fed. And you can see the avocado, you can see pits. Let's see if there's any worm ball in here. Oh yeah, look at that. Lots of happy worms. Good worms! And they have done away with everything we have fed them, with the exception of the hard to consume part there. So this will actually get fed people food again today. Let's look and see how the tray is doing with the hand shredded. And one of the things that I can say is a problem with hand shredded stuff is that it does get compacted. And, you know, the worms can't get in between there very well, especially if it's not corrugated. The worms have to find a way. Oh, speaking of finding a way, look at that. Worm ball just in the cardboard. I know some people have said that the worms will actually show up just for grit, and I have to wonder, because I gave them a good dose of azomite, which is rock dust, the last time I was in here, and I have to wonder if they just didn't all show up for that. So this layer is looking as good as it is going to look, considering it has not been fed people food. How did I end up with an extra one of these? Oh, weird. Okay, and then let's look at the bottom, next to the bottom tray here. So this also has not been fed anything with the exception of the cardboard bedding and some grit. Not seeing a lot of worms down here, just a few. Then the very bottom, this is the last tray that we put in, and I'm not seeing any worms at all. Oop, make a liar out of me. I just saw one. And now it's hiding. Worms do what they want. Oop, there he is. Haha. Caught you. You must now be cute on camera. So they are getting down here even though there's no food. We're going to do this a little different today, as you can tell by the fact that I had them all spread out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go put grit on all the levels that are not getting food, and I'm going to restack them. Okay, so this is azomite powder. You don't have to use this for grit. This is just kind of, think of it as a multivitamin. It's got all the rock minerals in there. And you wouldn't expect this to turn into fertilizer or anything like that. The product is called azomite because they have everything from A to Z. And this is just literally ground up rock. So you're not going to see this to be bioavailable, you know, within 6 months to a year. This is only really going to be useful to the worms as grit, as far as I understand it. Okay, this is October's tray. Give them some grit, kind of incorporate it in a little bit. Maybe that'll help. It's about 63 degrees Fahrenheit in the basement right now. We're going to come up against a cold spell here in the next couple of weeks where it is going to be, you know, 20 below freezing. These are red wigglers. I'm not worried about them. You know, no matter what the temperature is, my ones outside do just fine. So get them a little bit more there. Okay, this is the layer that was made in August. And it is looking very done, quite honestly, if they could finish up these last few things. But everything is kind of contingent on them finishing up on this end before I move on. So let's get these guys some food. The neighbors have contributed a few gallons of cherry tomatoes. So that's what the worms are going to get today. Now all that liquid from when they thaw out is going to just go down to that paper below and make it even more yummy for the worms. It's a little bit frozen, but they're going to be fine. They're also going to get some pumpkin. That should last them a little bit longer than the tomatoes. Move these guys over. And then kind of rescue these worms as I go. We're sitting on top of blue right now. And then here is my chow layer. And this is regular chow. This has rice and oatmeal and actually ground up beans. I have some ground up chickpeas in here. So I know that it's not ground up very fine like a powder. So I know it's not going to go as fast as normal worm chow that is absolutely powderized. Is that a word, powderized? I don't know. All right, well, that's the red wigglers in the tower system. If you have any questions, please put those below. And if you want to see more about the red wigglers, I have a playlist right over here. And if you've already seen that, YouTube thinks you're going to like this video right over here. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me and my worms. And everybody, have a good day.